What's going on, folks? How are we doing today? Today I'm going to try something too. I'm going to try and watch a video with you guys while keeping it all in one ed puzzle. So we'll try. All right. Last section today we're going to talk about is China, right, and the modernization of China. Okay. So how does China modernize? 1976. It is the end of Mao. Okay, and after Mao, there's a little bit of a turmoil in between, who's going to take over. 1981, though, Deng Xiaoping is the new leader of China, and he becomes a practical reformer. Okay, Deng is very important because Deng is the one who brings China into the modern age. Okay, he modernizes China, and he uses it based on these, what he called his four modernizations, right? He wanted to modernize agriculture, which would mean, getting rid of the collectives, allowing farmers to grow their own crops and farm the way they want to farm, right? Remember, under Mao, we took all the farmland away from the wealthy and forced collectivization. Industrialize, right? They wanted to industrialize and modernize with their industrialization, right? We talked about that. Every country goes through this point where they want to be their own manufacturers. And China will modernize so much that they will manufacture many things for the world. He wants to modernize their sciences as well. And again, it will be a focus on education, right? Where under Mao, many of the poor are forced into a peasantry life. They're forced to go farm, right? Deng wants more people to go become educated. Okay, and he also wants to modernize their defense systems, right? You see many of the largest superpowers in the world, they have a very modern army. If you want to be a superpower yourself, you need to have a modernized army. So that's what Deng will do. And here is a couple other things, right? I already mentioned that he breaks up collectives, right? Breaks up those large farms, but he allows for foreign investment, which had never been really allowed under Mao before. Meaning there will be foreign businesses getting involved in China. And that's, again, thanks to Mao, thanks to Deng. As well as that, Deng Xiaoping also allows for private business ownership. So they're going to back away from the command economy, right? There's going to be now private business ownership. So I'm going to try the video now. It should work. Let's see if I can't move this once I have it set. Okay. Let's try. Alright, so it says Deng Xiaoping is regarded as the father of reforms. He's going to open up China to the rest of the world. And then it says his ambitions will, kind of get rid of the Communist Party. Right? That was also the moment when Deng emerged as China's practical leader. Its policies shift the nation's economy from a more from a command economy to a more market economy. So this is what I really wanted to show you was the GDP, or their gross domestic product, right? Their poverty headcount ratio. Okay, so the amount of goods the gross domestic product, the amount of goods that they're producing for the world is skyrocketing, and their poverty line is falling, right? He also visits the United States, first leader to do that. Okay, this historic trip normalized diplomatic relations. Okay, it opens up a relationship between the Chinese and the United States.
And water would enter it, and it would fill up and look like this. So that would be our orange juice to drink.
Even attended a Texas rodeo, right? Again, this will make relationships between the U.S. and China a lot better, right? That the leader of China is willing to come, right? Here's Harry Kissinger. Right, I'll pause this. Wait. Right, as time went on, I developed enormous regard for this dowdy little man with melancholy eyes who had stuck to his cause in the face of extraordinary vicissitudes. Right. So what is he saying? He's basically saying, though many people opposed him, right, and his ideas were kind of revolutionary as far as China was concerned, it was impressive that he pushed on, right? Deng is also known for his pragmatism, meaning he's a practical person. Right, so here's the modernization of technology, right? And it brought a sea of changes. If you see, many of the cities in China are so large, and it all starts through Deng Xiaoping, right? We're going to stop there. I'll slide back over to the slides. Alright, so a couple other things too. Changes can bring challenges, as we know. Right? With Western involvement, many people want democratic change. So if we're going to see, Western businesses make their way to the United States, make their way to China, right? Many of the Chinese people want democratic changes. But here's the thing, that where Deng and Mao are similar. Deng will silence those protesters. Okay, in 1989, thousands of protesters occupied Tiananmen Square. Okay, people are protesting in Tiananmen Square, and the government ordered the protesters to move. They refused. Troops are then sent in many pictures of Tiananmen Square. It's kind of a sad moment in Chinese history. There's tanks coming through Tiananmen Square. Troops were sent in and thousands of people were killed. Many are captured. Really, what does this show? That Deng Xiaoping will allow democratic changes, but he won't. He wants command and order over anything. Okay, and he will not tolerate anyone rebelling against him. Okay, and that's really what you get from the Tiananmen Square, is that though he is allowing for democratic changes, he is the autocrat and holds all the power. Okay, and he will not be forced into anything. And again, like India did not have a one-child policy, China tries to limit their population growth with a one-child policy, enforced policy with fines and penalties. Okay, obviously your family didn't die if you had more than one child. There were different circumstances. Okay, and finally we'll talk about the issues in China. Okay, more issues in China. I have the Did You Know up there. 2007 Ministry of Health declares many babies are killed each year from pollution, right? That's the one issue with a large population, the way China has, is the pollution, right? Even in India, right? Both countries have over 1 billion people in their population. There's going to be a lot of crowded cities and a lot of pollution. Okay? The economy will rise at incredible rates, and they actually become economic rivals of the U.S. And that's where we're at today, right, as an economic rival. Their large growth leads to urbanization. What's urbanization? Growth of cities, right? People live in poor conditions and low wages with a high pollution rate. Like I said, I believe it's like 65 cities have over 1 million people in China, right? So again, that's a lot of cities, a lot of people living in close quarters. 2008 recession hurts China, but they create a stimulus package for their people to kind of bounce back. And today there's still limits on freedom, right? As you're seeing more now, or China's in the news more now, that you get to see that there are limits in their freedom, right? Hong Kong was protesting for their freedom. They wanted, voting rights and things like that, and the government refuses. So they do limit freedom. They do have censorship still. They do also reject Western style view on human rights, right? And that's, the way the United States views human rights, the way European countries view human rights, at least the Western European countries, right? That people are kind of born with rights, and that they can't really be taken away from the government. All right, that is where we're going to end. We can talk forever about China, honestly, but I don't want to. I don't want to put too many things in your head that won't be on the test. So if you want to talk more, for sure we'll have a Google Meet this week. So please show up and we can talk about anything. We can review on Tuesday, and then Wednesday will be our test. All right, stay safe, kids.